No one is talking about this the way it needs to be talked about, but Nicki Minaj has once again lit the internet on fire. This time with her new song title that fans are calling messy, bitter, and unnecessary. That's right, Nicki's track, The Straw That Breaks the Camel Back, has social media in a frenzy. Fans aren't just questioning the title, they're questioning her intentions. Did Nicki really drop this song as subtle shade toward Cardi B, who just made history with her new album, I Am the Drama? Stick around because we're about to break it all down piece by piece, and wait and watch the clip to see what's really going on.
Nicki, it's giving hater. It's giving hater, and I really don't like this for you. Let this woman have her moment. The straw that broke the camel's back. First of all, that's a long-ass name for a song title. Give it up, Nicki. Let Cardi have her moment. Stop.
When the announcement first hit, people were confused. A title that long? The Straw That Breaks the Camel Back? Fans immediately said it felt like Nicki was trying too hard to make a statement. And let's be honest, when it comes to Nicki, nothing is accidental. Every move, every lyric, every title is calculated, which is why the Barbs went into defense mode, while Barty Gang was quick to call it a direct attack on Cardi's Billboard success. Here's where things get interesting. Cardi B's I Am the Drama album is dominating. It just snagged the #1 spot on Billboard 200, making her one of the most successful female rappers of this generation. But instead of congratulating her, Nicki rolled out this oddly timed track. And the internet couldn't help but connect the dots. Nicki has a history of trolling Cardi, especially during her biggest wins. One fan wrote on Twitter, "Why does Nicki always pop up with shade every time Cardi gets a W? Like, let the girl breathe?" Another fan on TikTok said, "This title is too much. Nicki needs to chill. Cardi's pregnant and celebrating a huge milestone. Meanwhile, Nicki out here with a dissertation-length song title." But this isn't just about a song title, it's about a pattern. Every time Cardi makes headlines for success, Nicki finds herself trending right after, usually for some drama. Whether it's a tweet, a lyric, or now a track title, fans are tired of the constant back and forth. Some are even saying Nicki is obsessed. And it doesn't help that Cardi is currently pregnant, making this feel like even more of a low blow. Fans believe Nicki is deliberately trying to take the spotlight away from Cardi's moment as a mother and as an artist. The question is, why? What does Nicki gain from this constant trolling? To make matters worse, even some of Nicki's own fans admitted the title was a stretch. They said it felt clunky, confusing, and more like a statement piece than a real hit. "It sounds like a college essay, not a song," one fan joked on Facebook. And when your own fan base is side-eyeing your decisions, that's when you know the criticism is real. But Nicki hasn't addressed the backlash. She hasn't clarified what the title means or whether it was aimed at Cardi. Silence can be powerful, but in this case, it's only fueling speculation. Because if it wasn't shade, why not say so? Why leave the door open for people to assume the worst? What makes this even spicier is the timing. Cardi's album is flying high, making waves globally, while Nicki's title announcement feels like a deliberate attempt to shift the conversation. And when fans pointed that out, it created a storm on social media that shows no signs of slowing down. Now the big question everyone is asking, will Cardi respond? Or will she ignore it and let her success speak for itself? We've seen both sides of Cardi. Sometimes she claps back with brutal precision. Other times, she chooses silence. But given the fact she's pregnant, fans are hoping she'll choose peace this time. Still, if Nicki pushes harder, we all know Cardi won't hold back. As the drama heated up online, fans started revisiting the history between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, a feud that has stretched for years across interviews, subtweets, and even that infamous Fashion Week altercation where shoes were allegedly thrown. This new chapter with the song title feels like déjà vu for the culture. It's almost as if Nicki can't stand the idea of Cardi having a moment without trying to reclaim the spotlight. And here's where the conversation takes an even sharper turn. Because Cardi's fans aren't just calling out Nicki. They're calling out the industry as a whole. Many people believe the music world thrives on pitting women against each other. and Nicki is playing right into it by constantly going at Cardi. One fan commented on Instagram, "At this point, Nicki making herself look bitter. She could have just dropped the track without the messy timing. Now it looks like hate." Meanwhile, Cardi herself hasn't said much, at least not directly. But she doesn't need to. Her album numbers are speaking louder than any tweet ever could. I Am the Drama did what it was supposed to do. It proved she's not just a one-album wonder, she's here to stay. That kind of success cuts deep for anyone watching from the sidelines, especially someone as competitive as Nicki Minaj. And competition has always been Nicki's fuel. For years, she reigned as the undisputed queen of rap, the one every new girl was compared to. But when Cardi burst onto the scene with Bodak Yellow and instantly made history, the balance shifted. Suddenly, Nicki wasn't the only female rapper dominating charts. And that's a reality some fans believe she still hasn't fully accepted. But let's go back to the title for a second. The straw that breaks the camel back. Fans are dissecting it like it's a coded message. What exactly is Nicki saying here? Is she hinting that she's been pushed to her breaking point? Or is she suggesting Cardi's rise is the straw that broke her patience? The interpretation is wide open, and that's why it's causing such a stir. Some fans even theorized that Nicki is trolling on purpose, feeding into the narrative because she knows it will keep her trending. As one TikTok user put it, "Nicki don't care about no title length. She just wants y'all talking. Mission accomplished." And that might be the most dangerous part. Nicki thrives on controversy. She knows exactly how to stay in the conversation. But here's the flip side. While controversy keeps her trending, it also chips away at her legacy. Instead of celebrating her own success in music, she's being seen as someone who can't let go of a rivalry. And in an era where fans are pushing for unity among women in rap, this behavior is starting to feel outdated. Now let's not get it twisted. Nicki is still a powerhouse. She has hits, longevity, and a fan base that will defend her to the ends of the earth. But when her moves constantly look like they're aimed at tearing another woman down, it makes even her supporters pause. And with Cardi riding high off her #1 album, the contrast is striking. One woman is thriving in her art, while the other seems caught up in shade. The social media split is also worth noting. On Twitter, the debate is fiery. Hashtags about both Nicki and Cardi are trending side by side. On TikTok, users are making side-by-side skits mocking the long song title while praising Cardi's album numbers. And on Facebook, the older fan demographic is asking why these two can't just move on already. The irony is that fans love both women for different reasons. Cardi for her raw, authentic personality, and her knack for hit records that resonate with the mainstream. Nicki for her lyrical ability, unmatched flows, and years of dominance. But when they clash, the fan bases split into a battlefield, and nobody wins. Except maybe the blogs, who get endless content out of it. What's fascinating is how timing plays into all of this. Cardi B just reached the peak of her sophomore era with I Am the Drama hitting #1 on the Billboard 200. Yet, Nicki Minaj decides to drop a track announcement right in the middle of Cardi's celebration. Coincidence? Fans don't think so. The general feeling online is that Nicki deliberately timed this to take attention away from Cardi. One viral TikTok stitched the announcement with Cardi's Billboard ranking and captioned it, "Why can't she let Cardi breathe for 5 seconds?" The video gained nearly 1 million views overnight. It seems the internet is united on one thing. Nicki's obsession with overshadowing Cardi is becoming obvious. But let's dig deeper into the psychology here. Nicki Minaj has always been about control. Control of her image, her legacy, and her spot on top. Cardi B, on the other hand, thrives in chaos. She embraces imperfection, speaks her mind unfiltered, and somehow turns drama into fuel for her success. That contrast is what makes their feud so explosive. It's not just about music, it's about personality clashes. And fans aren't afraid to call it out. One user tweeted, "Nicki is polished, Cardi is raw. They'll never understand each other, but Nicki gotta stop acting like Cardi's success is an attack on her legacy." This perspective is becoming more popular, especially among younger fans who grew up on Cardi's rise rather than Nicki's dominance. Another layer to this drama is the way media outlets amplify it. Blogs, gossip pages, and entertainment channels are quick to frame every Nicki move as shade towards Cardi, and every Cardi win as a threat to Nicki. The cycle fuels itself. Whether intentional or not, both artists are locked into a narrative where one can't move without being linked to the other. And here's where it gets even messier, because some fans are suggesting that Cardi doesn't even care about Nicki anymore. Her album, her family, her brand deals, these are the things taking up her time. Yet by reacting to Cardi's wins with seemingly pointed moves, Nicki is keeping their feud alive all on her own. This leads us to a powerful question. What does Nicki gain by dragging Cardi's name into her rollout strategy? Attention, yes. Headlines, definitely. But at what cost? Her legacy risks being defined less by her music and more by her pettiness. And that's a tragedy for someone of Nicki's talent. Meanwhile, Cardi's fans are living for the shade. The memes are non-stop. Screenshots of Nicki's announcement are being paired with Cardi's chart placements in a way that makes it look like Nicki is chasing her shadow. And the internet has a cruel way of cementing these narratives once they catch fire. One Facebook post summed it up perfectly. Nicki will always be the queen, but queens don't need to move like pawns. If Cardi's album is #1, let her have it. Another woman's win doesn't erase your crown. Comments like this show that even longtime barbs are conflicted about Nicki's recent moves. The bigger story isn't just Nicki versus Cardi. It's the shift in hip-hop culture itself. Female rappers today are no longer competing for a single seat at the table. The audience is wide enough, the platforms are open enough, for multiple women to thrive at once. Yet this feud keeps reinforcing the outdated idea that only one can be on top. And that's why fans are saying enough is enough. Now let's talk about the song title itself, The Straw That Breaks the Camel's Back. Fans can't stop laughing and cringing at how long it is. Social media lit up with jokes saying things like, "Nicki, this is a dissertation, not a song title," and "Imagine trying to request this on the radio." But behind the laughter, there's suspicion. Was the clunky title a deliberate move? A metaphor aimed at Cardi? Because remember, Cardi's album I Am the Drama is not just topping charts, it's dominating conversations. A title as dramatic as The Straw That Breaks the Camel's Back could be Nicki's way of mocking Cardi's flair for theatrics. Fans are reading between the lines, asking if this is Nicki's subtle jab at the drama queen image Cardi has leaned into. And this is where the storyline thickens. Cardi has not directly responded to Nicki's announcement, but she doesn't need to. Her silence speaks volumes. By letting her success do the talking, Cardi flips the script. Instead of feeding the feud, she positions herself as the bigger star who doesn't have time for petty distractions. That in itself drives Nicki's critics wild. Meanwhile, fans are demanding accountability. One Twitter thread went viral with the hashtag #LetCardiShine, calling for Nicki to stop trying to overshadow her peer. The comments ranged from fiery to downright heartbreaking. One fan wrote, "I grew up idolizing Nicki, but watching her tear down another woman just to feel secure hurts. She doesn't need to do this." But let's not forget, the rap game has always thrived on competition. From Tupac versus Biggie to Lil' Kim versus Foxy Brown, rivalries fuel attention and boost sales. Could it be that Nicki is simply playing into this age-old formula, keeping herself in the spotlight by staying tethered to Cardi? If so, it's a risky gamble, because today's audience is less tolerant of negativity, especially when it feels unnecessary. Here's another twist. Insiders claim that Nicki has been feeling pressure from her label to deliver big numbers. Her last projects, while successful, didn't dominate charts the way her early albums did. With Cardi's album making history, Nicki could be facing an uphill battle to prove she's still the top contender. If true, this could explain the timing and the trolling. Fans also noticed that Nicki's announcement came without a snippet, without visuals, just a title. That, to many, screams desperation. It's as if she wanted to insert herself into the trending cycle by any means necessary. And once again, Cardi is dragged into the narrative without even lifting a finger. The irony is almost poetic. By trying to break Cardi's moment, Nicki ends up making her shine brighter. Every time fans debate Nicki's intentions, Cardi's Billboard success gets mentioned again. Every blog headline that pits the two against each other reminds the world that Cardi's album is sitting comfortably at #1. So where does this leave the fans? Torn between two legends, caught in a storm of egos, music, and media manipulation. Some are begging for peace, others are stirring the pot. And through it all, the feud only gets more intense. But the real question is, will it ever end? Or are we watching the birth of a rivalry that will define female rap for the next decade? As we wrap up this saga, the tension between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj feels like it's reached a boiling point, but there's still more to unpack. Fans are now speculating what this feud means for the future of female rap. Could the straw that breaks the camel's back actually spark a response track from Cardi? Or will she continue to let her album I Am the Drama speak for itself? Some insiders believe Cardi might eventually drop a verse addressing the situation. But carefully. Cardi has mastered the art of controlled response. She knows when to engage and when to dominate by simply winning commercially and culturally. Right now, her album sales, viral moments, and streaming numbers are a statement louder than any diss track could ever be. Meanwhile, Nicki's approach is less subtle. By trolling Cardi on social media and using that long, attention-grabbing song title, she's trying to insert herself into the trending conversation. But the risk is evident. Fans are turning against her for dragging a pregnant woman and trying to overshadow her charts. On X, formerly Twitter, the "Sarn Let Cardi Shine" movement is growing daily, with posts reminding Nicki that it's not 2008 anymore. The audience sees through forced drama. And here's a twist. Some fans believe this feud might be more of a marketing play than a personal vendetta. After all, controversy sells. By pitting themselves against each other, directly or indirectly, they dominate headlines, trending topics, and YouTube clicks. Yet there's a line. Targeting a pregnancy and celebrating chart battles at someone else's expense risks backlash. In the middle of all this, Cardi remains the calm in the storm. Interviews show her smiling, unbothered, and focused on her pregnancy, her family, and her creative output. She has strategically avoided directly attacking Nicki, yet she subtly reminds the public who is on top. The irony? Every mention of Nicki's trolling inevitably reinforces Cardi's dominance. Fans are now debating what's next. Will Nicki finally release a snippet or a full single targeting Cardi? Or will she pivot entirely to her upcoming album in March 2026, hoping to reclaim the narrative before Cardi releases more projects? The timing will be crucial. Any misstep could make her appear petty, while Cardi continues building a legacy that feels untouchable. Some industry experts even suggest this feud will redefine female rap rivalries. While Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown once dominated headlines, today's environment is more public and digitally amplified. Every tweet, TikTok reaction, and Instagram comment is instant evidence that gets archived forever. Cardi B understands this, and that might be why she's playing the long game. Meanwhile, social media continues to explode. TikTok videos analyzing the two rappers' every move, Twitter threads debating chart numbers, and Instagram polls asking fans to pick a winner all keep the conversation alive. Cardi's I Am the Drama benefits from this constant attention. Even when Nicki trolls, she inadvertently fuels Cardi's narrative. So what's the takeaway? Cardi B's success is undeniable, and she's proving that staying focused, maintaining professionalism, and leveraging strategic silence can be more powerful than engaging in public feuds. Nicki Minaj, while still a legend, faces the challenge of navigating competition without alienating fans. It's a delicate dance, one that could redefine the careers of both artists. As we close, the ultimate cliffhanger remains. Will Nicki Minaj's next album release spark direct lyrical warfare? Will Cardi respond in kind? Or will she continue letting her cultural dominance speak for itself? The rap world and the internet will be watching closely.